Every morning, you look into the mirror and you lie. Not to your boss, not to your partner, not to anyone who could call you out. To yourself. Quietly, convincingly, with a straight face. And the terrifying part? You believe it. Every single time. The mirror was supposed to show you the truth. Instead, you've turned it into the world's most convincing theater of excuses. And today, we're pulling back the curtain. Here's the question I want you to sit with for this entire video. Not answer yet, just hold it. What is the most dangerous lie you have ever told yourself? And how much of your life has it already cost you? Because by the end of this, you won't just know the answer, you'll feel it in your chest, in the part of you that already knows something has to change. But first, let me tell you a story. A story about the most sophisticated liar you will ever meet in your life. You already know their face. It starts innocently enough. The alarm goes off. You silence it. And before your feet even touch the floor, the lie begins. Tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll start the diet. Tomorrow I'll open the business plan. Tomorrow I'll have the hard conversation. Tomorrow I'll finally become the person I keep promising to be. And tomorrow arrives, wearing yesterday's clothes, carrying yesterday's excuses. And the mirror gets another performance. Here's what nobody tells you about tomorrow. It is the most populated place on Earth. Billions of dreams live there. Billions of versions of people who were going to be different starting then. And tomorrow never fills up, because nothing ever actually arrives there. Tomorrow is not a destination. It is where potential goes to die. How many tomorrows have you already spent? Calculate it. Then keep watching. The second lie is more sophisticated, more believable, more dangerous, because this one sounds like wisdom. I'm not ready yet. It sounds responsible. It sounds like patience. It sounds like the kind of thing a mature, self-aware person says. But strip away the language, and what it actually means is this. I am terrified. Terrified of being seen trying. Terrified of building something and watching it fall apart publicly. Terrified of discovering that you gave everything, and everything wasn't enough. So instead, you research, you plan, you prepare endlessly for a moment you keep pushing further away. Another course, another book, another conversation about what you're going to do instead of actually doing it. Let me ask you something. When exactly will you be ready? What does ready look like? What does it feel like? What arbitrary threshold are you waiting to cross before you finally give yourself permission to go after the thing you want? Because here's the psychological truth. Ready is not a feeling. Ready is a story you tell yourself to avoid the discomfort of beginning. And the beginning is the only place where anything real ever starts. The most expensive thing you own isn't your house. It isn't your car. It's the time you spent waiting to be ready. And you can't get a refund. Now we go deeper, because the third lie is the one you've never admitted out loud. Not even to yourself. Not fully. It's the lie that lives beneath all the others. The one that makes tomorrow feel necessary. The one that makes not ready feel true. If I try and fail, I can never pretend again. Right now, you have something precious. The illusion of potential. As long as you haven't fully tried, you can still believe in the version of yourself that succeeds. You can protect that image. Keep it perfect. Keep it safe. Keep it untouched by the reality of what happens when you actually show up. Because what if you go all in and it still doesn't work? What if you give your absolute best and your best isn't enough? That thought is the engine behind every mirror lie you've ever told. And I'm not going to pretend it isn't terrifying. It is. The possibility of trying completely and still falling short is one of the most uncomfortable human experiences that exists. But here's what's more terrifying: reaching the end of your life having never found out. Never knowing what would have happened if you'd stopped protecting the illusion and started building the reality. That uncertainty, lived for decades, is the real failure. Psychologists call it self-handicapping, the deliberate, often unconscious, creation of obstacles and excuses before attempting something important. Because if you fail with an excuse ready, your ego stays intact. I would have made it if the timing had been better. I could have done it if I'd had more support. The excuse becomes armor. But armor, worn long enough, becomes a prison. And you've been inside it longer than you realize. I want to stop here. Not for a quote, not for a statistic. For you. Think about your mirror. Think about your morning. Think about the specific words, the exact sentence you've been repeating to yourself for months, maybe years. What is the one lie you've been telling yourself in the mirror that has cost you the most? Write it in the comments, right now. Not because I'll judge it, but because the moment you name it, it loses power over you. The lie only survives in silence. Name it. Here is what the mirror actually is. Not a judge, not an audience, not a place to perform the version of yourself that feels safest. The mirror is a witness. And every morning, you have a choice about what it witnesses. The lie or the truth? The performance or the person? The comfortable story or the confronting reality that you are standing still in a life that is moving forward without your participation? The mirror doesn't lie. You do. And you do it because the truth is harder than anything the mirror could show you. The truth is, you are not where you want to be. Not yet. The truth is, you have been complicit in your own stagnation. The truth is, the dream isn't dead. It's just buried under years of mornings you chose the lie. But here's the other truth. You are still standing in front of the mirror. You are still here, still watching, still, somewhere inside, refusing to fully give up on the person you know you could become. That refusal is everything. So here is what changes today, not tomorrow, today. You walk to the mirror, and instead of telling yourself a story, you ask yourself a question. What would I do today if I wasn't afraid of what happens next? And then, you do that thing. Not perfectly, not confidently, not with a guarantee of success, just honestly. Because honest action, however imperfect, builds more than perfect planning ever could. The people you admire, the ones who built something real, they didn't have a better mirror. They just stopped lying into theirs. They looked at the gap between who they were and who they needed to become. And instead of flinching, they walked toward it. That walk is available to you right now. This morning. This moment. Not when you're ready. Not when the conditions improve. Not when fear stops showing up. Now. Because action taken in fear is braver than inaction dressed up as patience. And brave is exactly what the next chapter of your life requires you to be. If this video cracked something open in you, this channel was built for that exact moment. Every week, we come here to dismantle the stories that keep capable people stuck. The comfortable lies, the invisible ceilings, the quiet self-betrayals nobody else can see. If you're done lying to yourself and ready to start building something real, subscribe. This community is for people who look in the mirror and finally choose the truth. Join us.
We started with a question. What is the most dangerous lie you have ever told yourself? And how much of your life has it already cost you? Because by the end of this, you won't just know the answer. You'll feel it. In your chest. In the part of you that already knows something has to change. But first, the lie was never about tomorrow. It was never about readiness. It was never about timing. It was about this. The fear of meeting yourself fully. The fear of stripping away the performance, the excuses, the comfortable distance between who you are and who you could be, and standing in the raw, uncomfortable truth of your own potential. The mirror is waiting. Not for the version of you that has it all figured out. Not for the version of you that is finally ready.